pushing the limits, we're breaking the chains. In the heat of the moment, we run through the flames. Yeah, we're rolling through the night. Every corner, every fight. Speed's our religion, Le Mans our shrine. GT3s, it's our time to shine. We're crushing the game, Le Mans in our sights. Remember our name, GT3s. We rise from the start, we're taking the win, we're making our mark. Le Mans breakdown, hear the tires scream. We're racing for glory, chasing that dream. In GT3, we're burning up the track. No looking back, we're never turning back. Le Mans breakdown, let's hear the roar. GT3s, who could want more? Pedal to the metal, we take the fight. Le Mans, baby, we own the night. Yo, GT3, we own that track. Le Mans, baby, there's no looking back.
Good evening, everyone here tonight. This is Core GT Season 11, round number 3, coming at you from Autodromo Enzo Idino Ferrari. So, here from the home of Ferrari, Imola. Looks like might be a little wet here tonight for this one. Let's check in and see what it's looking like down on track. Let's hop in with our first guy here, Nathan Nickerson here. Yep, definitely wet. We'll pull this up there. There you go. So you can kind of see. Let's see if this is still going to be working. Let's pull up our points from last season. Or this season. Yep. Looks like Mason Smith is leading currently with 103 points over Ricky Renner and Dave Tilford. Dave Tilford not making it here tonight, so I'll have to see what Ricky can do about that, being 2 points back. Dane Simpson leading in silver, 2 points ahead of Alan Gullison, 10 points ahead of Bronson Stafford. Over in gold, you got Nathan Nickerson, 10 points ahead of Herbert Pineda and Shane Theron. In bronze, you have Josh Anderson leading Bill Burrell by 2 points and Robert Kinney by 4. So, you know, only 3 races into the season, definitely enough time to make up some ground here. Looks like Jack Peterson taking the first hot lap there with a 2:02.0. Ricky Renner beating that with a 2:01.39. Let me see if we can't find Mason Smith here. Let's hop in the cab here with Mason. See, he does his lap. What is he going to click in here? Waiting for the update. Looks like that lap did not count for Mason. Maybe he had a small off track, or it says out lap. So Ricky down into the 2:01.3. He's got about 5 minutes of qualifying left here tonight. And you can kind of see, following here on board with Mason, it is definitely wet. It is definitely raining. They have the windshield wipers going. Car twitching, coming down into the corner there. You know, you got to avoid the puddles. You got to drive off the quote-unquote normal racing line. You know, and things like this, just coming over the top of this, if you catch a puddle wrong there, it could send that car, you know, sliding, and you're going to have to collect it. Mason, though, here, coming down into this one, you know, and this being downhill and the way iRacing does it, you can see the puddles right there. You know, clearly the nice reflections we get. You know, having to just tiptoe his way through, you can always hear the gravel with the new update, dragging it all over the track, as some of these guys are going to be going off track here tonight. And then we have the little uphill chicane here. And between the water and the gravel, it's going to be hard for these guys to put down the power. We come down around into, I believe this is going to be Variante, or is this Ravaza? I can't remember the corner names here. Yep. Nice little chopper view here. You can see all the spray coming off of Mason there. Let's see what he's going to click in here. All right, Mason doing a 2:01.8. So Ricky Renner currently the only one in the sub 2 minute class there. As he will come down here. Ricky, let's see if we can figure out where. Yep, so it's going through Tosa there. And then he'll be coming from Tosa up to Piratelli. As we kind of wait for a minute here. There we go, there it is. Coming through Piratelli into Acqua Minerale. Yep. That will be the entry there. As you can see, the big puddle there on the inside. Coming through the other part of Acqua Minerale here. And Variante Alta. This is the top of the hill little chicane they have here. You can see taking a lot of curb there, but not taking much on the second. And this will be Ravazza here. Okay, here's a nice little drone shot through Ravazza. This is a camera we might have to use a little bit for tonight. So, but yeah, you can just see how much pulling there is here on the track. I think it's raining harder. You see him just barely getting down into the pit lane there. Got about another minute and a half for these guys to get their laps in. Looks like Nick Terrell is trying to get his final lap in here. Oh, I see Mystery Inc. Is it a Scooby-Doo themed paint job? I think it has bits and pieces. Looks like the sun may be coming out a little bit there. So it's supposed to be 100% chance of rain for the rest of it. And I wish I don't have... Yep. It says 80%, but that is the relative humidity there, not 80% chance of rain. Track temp colder than the air temp. Yep, Mystery Inc. So, Nick Terrell, the only one trying to get another lap in here. We will ride along with him. Take a look out the tail here and you can just see how much water there is. Yeah, you can see the rain beating down. And you look at the nose here with a little bit of a ghost of a windshield wiper. Oh, that just lake he's having to drive through there. Let's pull up our, not results. We're looking for the grid. Got Ricky Renner starting on pole with that 159, 487. Jack Peterson, 1.4 seconds back in second. Justin Munsell in third. Nathan Nickerson in fourth. Mason Smith starting in fifth. Dane Simpson, our silver driver, punching above his weight class there, starting in sixth. Josh Betts starting in seventh. Braden Carlson starting in eighth. All right, and we'll go down here. There we go. And ninth will be James Molyneux. 10th, Nick Terrell. 11th will be Herbert Pineda. John Crane starting in 12th. 13th will be Bronson Stafford. 14th, Josh Anderson. 15th, Alex Jaspers. 16th, Alan Gullison. 17th, Joe Sullivan. 18th, Chaz Justice. 19th, Shane Theron. 20th, William Burrell. And 21st, Robert Kinney. So I got 21 guys here tonight. You're going to see how they get going here. Let's pull back to this here and run through some of my camera options here. Let's see what all we get. Oh, we got some scenics. Oh, we're going to have to select a driver. You're going to select a driver that's on track. That being the kicker there. So, nice little shot here. A little close up, you can see. Oh, that's nice of iRacing. They, you can see the raindrops since everybody's parked. You know, having their little effects there on the water. All right. Let's see here. You can see you got guys already having their wipers on. Oh, sorry for that cockpit view. That is a little messed up by my triples. So yeah, we got the TV1, TV2, TV3. Pit lane. Let's see. So where are they going to be starting this pace lap? There we go. Starting it in Aqua Minerale there. Give you a chance here to take a look at everybody's wonderful paint jobs here tonight. Now I do see, it looks like Nick Terrell may be trying to make a pit lane start. Wondering if Nick thinks because of the rain, if he's going to get away with a maybe a little one-stop action. You know, not having to do with a little bit of a pace lap. Maybe that's what he needs to launch into this one and come up with a little something. Guessing because of the rain, I'm getting a plethora of little red boxes over here from SDK saying we have crashes, but yet it's just because they have to be tiptoeing through the chicanes so slowly here on this pace lap. They'll come down through here through Ravaza.
Green flag, green flag.
Okay, that should be working now, but it's not the correct one. We'll have to figure that out here. Wait a minute. Let's see. How about now? Yeah, okay. Back to working. That's good. Sorry about that, Alyssa. But yeah, mostly been talking about all the spray we have here. Did not realize that that was not working there. We're back to a decent camera here. Checking in on our leader, Ricky Renner. 1.4 seconds over Jack Peterson. You know, broke out to that about 2-second gap there, but has not just made a ton of time since on Jack there. As you see, Mason there has Nathan Nickerson all over his tail. Mason running about 3.6 there behind Ricky. So definitely... Ew. Looks like we have a little bit of trouble here out of Chaz. What happened with Chaz here? Oh! Okay. We're gonna have to go to a different camera to see this. It, just loses it, gets in the grass, and it hooks. So, tough luck for Chaz there. Check in with our often out of position platinum driver here, Nick Terrell. Already up to 11th. He is 36 seconds behind our leader, Ricky Renner. So I've got a feeling Nick's on some alternate fuel strategy stuff starting back from the pits. So definitely we'll be keeping an eye here on Nick tonight. Let's see, also checking in. Who else do we have? Dane Simpson was racing with Braden Carlson there at the beginning. They've managed to steal 5th place from him. However, looks like it's about a 7-second gap there now, so Braden's slowly pulling away from Dane. Josh Anderson here, our bronze driver, all the way up in 7th position. So congratulations, Josh, doing some good work there. As we will go through here and see who else do we have. Robert Kinney is up 7 positions here from his start a little bit further back. Decided to pick a handful of a car here tonight with the Corvette there. Would not have been my choice here in the rain. As you can see, most of these guys running the Porsche here tonight or the Acura. A few holdouts is Bronson Stafford and the Audi. Not sure that's a pick I would have made, but he's been with that car for a little while now, so I'm assuming he knows how it does. John Crane in the McLaren tonight. McLaren's not too bad in the rain. The Corvette, though, is not one of my favorites, and Chaz in the Ferrari, it's okay. You know, not the best rain car, but also by far not the worst. If that's what you're comfortable with, roll with it. So, Joe Sullivan here. What happened to Sullivan? This is Joe. I don't see any damage to Joe there. Is he just deciding to park it? Or did he have an issue coming out? Yeah. I think Joe said that's enough rain for him and decided to go on home for the night. So, there we go. Let's check in here. Herbert Pineda, another one of the guys that comes over from CSRL here. one of our gold drivers down in 14th. Saw him try that. I believe he tried the pit lane start as well. So he will be one to keep an eye on. See him trying to get. Whoa! Was that? That was Robert Kinney there in the Corvette. And that's kind of one of the reasons I wouldn't pick it. It is not so happy about all this rain. So, going back through here, let's check in with our leaders here. Ricky Renner out to 3 seconds. So, looks like Jack Peter. I thought it might be more of Jack falling off than Ricky just doing better. Because Mason is now all over the back of Peterson there. Trying to run through here, see if I have anything for Peterson. Any off tracks? Not seeing any off tracks. So let's see here. As we will come back through, so yeah, Peterson opening the gap up to Mason there a little bit. You can just see how much rain is falling here. It is everywhere. But I have to give Nathan Nickerson credit here. He has stuck to the back of Mason since this one started, not giving him a second to breathe. Yeah, it's bad enough having to drive in the rain, but having somebody running your back door the entire time, you know, you're trying to set up and make a pass, but you also don't want to leave the door open for the guy behind you. Oh, Nathan, keep it straight. Nice recovery there by Nathan, but you see how quickly coming over the top of that hill. Car gets a little light, there's water, you're in the wrong spot, and it is going to spin. Yeah, this is on those list of tracks that, Brands Hatch is not a race that I would want to run in the rain. Imola, I believe there was a little incident back with George Russell a little while ago in Formula One, coming through this section here where there were two of them. They did not end well. So
I'm in danger.
I imagine that's what Nick would be saying right now. Let's check back in, hop back out of the car. Things here. You can see not a ton of space here from 4th on up to the leader Ricky. About 4 seconds overall. And then you got a nice bigger gap back here to Braden Carlson. Another gap back to Dane. And then after Josh, you get a couple. Yeah, so these guys from 6th, 7th on up, they're just out here looking to do clean laps. Nick Terrell's closing down the gap on Josh Anderson, about 3 seconds a lap. So we should see this pass happen here relatively quickly. This is the Villeneuve section here. Yeah, and you can just... There's just so much water. They go through Tulsa, you see, normally you're going to be on that curb, but this is not the night to be riding the curbs. As we will go back to TV number 2 here to watch Nick. See him slowly catching Anderson here. See if he's got a decent plan for trying to get around Josh. But, oh, yeah, you can see the front end just... You get into that water and it just does not want to turn anymore. So we've lost 2 here tonight. That would be Joe Sullivan and Chaz Justice. We'll go back and swap this back over to our overall here. Oh, that is Alex Jaspers we heard. Let's get the full thing here. Coming over the top of the hill. Goes to get on the brakes. Oh, pitches the back sideways. Little bit of airborne, Ooh. Yeah, leaving a front bumper there. Looks like he's got it attached with some string, maybe. Do they fishing line those front bumpers on? Because that's about what that would look like. Oh no, showing a crash here for Herbert Pineda. What happened with Herbert? Oh. Herbert saw Alex and had to slow down, so it registered that as an accident. That it was not. Showing one here for Braden Cross. And what happened to Braden here? Missed his braking marker. Decided to go out into the... he started thinking about going out into the kitty litter. Decided to keep it on track. Good save there by Braden. Let's let Dane get a little closer to him, though. Go back through here, find Alan Gullison running 3rd in silver and 10th overall. Looking to see if he can get around Josh Anderson now. So this is... Every time I'm looking at this, I just see how much water is attached to the track there, and it is. Some of these could literally be called a lake, and the drivers are acting like it really is. So everybody that says, "Oh, it's just a game," you try this with rain, and it's I was surprised riding a motorcycle on a wet track how much grip there was. But I think this is a different animal. Yeah, you definitely have to watch where you are. We've seen multiple guys, look like they're going in a straightish line that all of a sudden goes sliding off into the wall because you caught a puddle the wrong way. So looking back through here, that is Nick Terrell. And he's running 209s, so about 3 seconds off pace from the guys up front. But at the same time, if he's running 209s and 208s, Ricky is 52 seconds ahead of him. Jack Peterson and Nathan Nickerson, they're in that 46 to 48 second range ahead of him. That's about a pit stop. So we'll have to see when these guys come in. Because it's wet like this, you're not going to be able to get on the throttle as hard or as quick. Ricky should spin to win. Well, he did pick the Porsche. So if I leave it on him long enough, he will. We can just go for the commentator's curse to make it interesting, but Mason Smith there now running in second place there. 2.3 seconds to Ricky Renner. Jack Peterson. Did Peterson have an issue? When did that happen? I'm not sure. I don't see a notation in SDK for it. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Mason getting around Jack. Like just getting a slow exit out of that corner. Let's go back. Or did he pick up an off track here and had to serve a slowdown maybe? Not coming too far in. Yeah, I think he just got too far to the left into the water and just not able to put the power down. Yes, David, I'm aware that Nick is going to try to one stop in the rain. I mean, you know the mark he has to make. It's about 30 minutes if you want to take it all the way. But running 7th overall is not a bad place to be, especially in this nice little space he's in now, because he's got, let's click on him here, 17 seconds ahead of him to Dane 8 seconds behind him to Josh. And as you see that number 81 machine there on the camera, or on the track map, you know, he's got a little bit of room between everybody. So he doesn't have to worry about the spray from other cars, doesn't have to, you know, worry about somebody hitting him currently. So it's not a bad spot to be. Let's check in here. We got Josh Anderson and Herbert Pineda. Looks like Pineda just got around Josh there. Uh-oh. Ooh. Sorry about to lose my voice there for a second, felt like. We got the 021 in the pits. That's William Burrell. He is up on the jack stands. Let's try to find. Let's see if he's got. Not seeing any damage, so at 23 minutes might be just our first taker there for some pit work. You know, give it some fresh tires maybe and a few gallons of fuel. Let's see, who else have we not checked? Check in with Shane Theron, our currently you know, up 5 positions from where he started. Did not have a good qualifying here tonight. Yeah, generally more of a NASCAR guy, but putting up a decent showing here on road as well. But, you know, we've got guys last lap. You know, your fastest on the track, Nathan Nickerson, running a 2:05.27. And you've got guys in the 2:19s, 2:16s, so and the rain really showing you the gap difference in some of these drivers. You know, normally being a second or two off in the dry is one thing, but you know, we're 10, 11 seconds off in some cases here. Go back in here, get Mason Smith going around Bronson Stafford there. Just this lap, Nathan 2 seconds off his previous best. So definitely, you know, when it gets wet like this, it's more of a race of consistency. You know, keeping the car clean, keeping it off the walls. Yeah, currently showing Alex Jaspers with 11 off tracks. And if you look at the front of that Porsche there, I definitely think you can see why maybe 11 off tracks is not a good thing to aim for. All right, Nathan Nickerson here in third. Last lap, so yeah, Nathan's only half a second or so off of Ricky's Renner's pace last lap. So, oh, see Bronson there getting sideways, and Mason and Nathan getting around him. Yeah, but this is definitely going to be one of those nights. We're 26 minutes in. We're 27 now of a 1 hour race, so there's a long way to go for these guys. Gonna do a quick little love to hear it bit and mute the mic. Let me grab something to drink. I'll be right back. All right, a little love to hear it second there. And oh, you see Shane all over the back of Josh Anderson there. Shane looking to get around. Gonna try here on the inside this time. Yeah, either one of them sets a tire there in the grass, and it could be all she wrote. Josh may be looking for a little over-under, not gonna get it, and that is gonna set Shane Theron off to go hunt for a top 10. But right now we got Mason and Braden into the pits. We just saw Dane Simpson come out of the pits a short time ago. Ricky, though, staying out. He made it to the 30-minute mark. So it should be nothing but a one stop from Ricky Renner here. Now the real question is, I'm seeing the pit lane times in that 17, 18 second range as we're used to. But Jack Peterson taking all 4 tires. Because this is a case that I would in fact take 4. You know that 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever it is in the pits you're going to lose. Having one worn out rain tire is a good way to end your night in despair. Yeah, but Ricky just doing what he's supposed to do. Showing Josh Betts in the lead currently in pit lane. Yeah. Oh, Josh had towed after a little incident. Check in with James Molyneux. You know, when the Acura came out and we went and did a wet spa, James did very, very well that night, and it looks like here again tonight, running in the top 6, possibly currently. He has in fact pitted. He pitted on lap 3, so this may be genuine pace that has gotten him up here. Dane pitting on lap 13. So we'll have to see where James comes back out in this grand big mix-up. So Ricky pitted on lap 14 now. Nick Terrell has yet to pit though. So he has given up essentially an entire pit stop to Ricky. Gap is currently 23 seconds between Ricky and Nick. And Nick will be in this time. So, yep, I think you're going to see the guys that waited to pit on lap 14 probably going to have enough to go the entire way. Definitely something we're going to be trying to keep an eye on. Oh, there we go. Maybe we can check out here. Herbert Pineda running in 17th currently. Braden coming out of the pits, getting ahead of Nick Terrell there. See where Nick slides back in after his pit stops, coming back out. Going to stay ahead of Shane Theron there. Let's see here. You can see Shane catching up to Nick Terrell there. And Nick fresh out of the pits on those colder tires. Not an easy thing to do here tonight. Shane's going to be taking a little looky. Nope. Decides better of it. Maybe going to try to catch him here on exit. Checking with people we hadn't seen in a little while. Josh Betts down 3 spots from his original start, but running 10th overall. And Dane Simpson right here coming up behind him. So I'll look at these pit lane times. It looks like Braden and Jack and maybe Dane all took a little longer in the pits than everybody else. So, you know, did they take all 4 tires? Is that going to make a difference here at the end where, you know, Ricky, Mason, and like Nathan just don't have enough tire left to safely drive? Will they have to come back in for a tire? I mean, the track's pretty dry. I don't think it's going to be quite that bad. We are 35 minutes into this 1 hour race here tonight. Oh, let's see. Who else can we check in? We hadn't really gotten. Let's see. Robert Kinney looking like he has come into the pits and managed to get a little faster repair there on lap 6. So he should be pitting at only 3 more laps. We have Shane rolling and trundling down the pit lane currently. Showing what happened with Herbert Pineda here, turning in, touches the, yep, and it just does not want to turn, it looks like. Brakes here and just, well, it's saying that Herbert jumped to the pits. I'm trying to figure out why he jumped to the pits. All right. So, looking back through here, Dane Simpson trying to make his way back up after his pit stop. Was in the pits for 51 seconds there. So a little bit of a slow stop for Dane compared to everybody else. Got guys that are in there, you know, only 48, 49 seconds. So I'm Mike kindly wondering what Dane has cooking up, if we're going to see something interesting out of him. What else do we have here? Hop in to show you Nathan Nickerson here. Yep, it is just that wet. They are just having to tiptoe, staying off the insides due to those puddles. There we go. So looking back through, yep, getting, I believe, is this going to be the second round of pit stops? James Molyneux. Oh, well, we weren't running live. That may explain a little bit. James into the pits. Justin into the pits. See where these guys come out here in relation to Dane. Well, that has promoted Dane back up to 7th position there. Like he has Robert Kinney behind him. Robert stopped on lap 6. So Robert should be in one of these next laps here. Oh no, Dane, no! Ding the wall there a little bit. You got those T-Rex arms and decided to, oh, you're going to have to replace some teeth on Rexy there, Dane. He's trying to get back going and not be in everybody's way. There's Shane Theron looking to get past him too right now. Hop on board with Dane and see what that wheel's looking like. See if it's pretty much straight. Yeah, it's pretty much straight. I'm not saying any crazy yank, so he should not have a meatball from that one. Yo, what is iRacing doing? iRacing just crashed on me. I swear. Let's fire it back up. We will be back shortly. Come on, iRacing. Currently has a session here. Second. I'll meet the mic and be right back here shortly. All right, let's see. Getting this back going here real quick. Still has a race connection for me. Yeah. Well, that didn't crash. So, yep. Huh. Not quite sure why I did that. Okay, there we go. We're launching iRacing again. About 35%. It should be back up very shortly. David, I think it's time for me to reinstall Windows. There's something here recently. I was hoping that 50 series launch would have gone slightly better and we could get rid of this Intel card, but it's not quite yet. There we go. We are back here. All right. Looks like Ricky Renner still ahead of Mason Smith here. iRacing is having to update its times here for a minute. Yeah, it's going to take a second. It says Mason is 15 seconds off. Like Jack Peterson trying to get around the Porsche of Nathan Nickerson here. You can kind of see here the difference in how these two cars, one rear engine, one mid engine, as they go down on the brakes, we can watch and see how much they shimmy back and forth under braking. See a nice reflection of the trees on the lake that is the road, but yeah. Pulled up the iRacing. I'm betting it would say very wet at the moment, but it does not tell me that information.
Go left, John.
That's why it's so loud. There we go. Alright, so now y'all can hear it and I'm not being deafened. Did not realize that. Alright. You can see Nathan Nickerson and Jack Peterson there. Go through, see where else we have some close battles. Looks like Bronson Stafford trying to catch up and maybe make a move here on Josh Anderson. Anything for that? There we go. Braden Carlson. No. Sorry, that is Nick Terrell on Braden Carlson. So Nick going to be trying the one pit stop strategy there. Well, it says he's had two, but I'm pretty sure that's due to him making a pit lane start. Looks like the track is getting wetter and wetter. These lap times are just kind of dropping away. Their best lap 205, low 205s with a 205.14 and 47 for Ricky and Mason respectively. Now they're 206 3s and 206 8s. So we've lost about a second worth of lap time just due to how wet this track has now gotten. Because this is some bad rain. So we see Justin Munsell trying to line up the move here on Dane Simpson. So. All right. Let's see. What else we can do. Let's hop on to, just right in front of Dane, you have Josh Betts here. I mean, this shows you just how little they see Dane. Not sure if that's the racing line Dane's taking or just that's the I need to see where I'm going line. But Josh Betts here. Definitely has an increase in points here behind. There we go. Get that volume level back to correct. Alright. There's Munsell going to the inside of Dane there. And then right behind him you have Shane. Oh, Munsell doing a little hard landscaping there out in the gravel patch. Showing an accident here for Robert Kennedy. What is this going to be? Oh, Corvette doing those Corvette things. Twitchy on the brakes, kicks it sideways, but nice recovery there by Robert Kennedy. Robert, get out of that gravel. It will get you stuck. Let's see here. And that has put Shane right on the back door there of Dane. Go back live, that is Shane Theron getting around Dane. Dane not giving up though. He's maybe thinking about trying to get a pass on the exit. Just does not have the horsepower at the top end to keep pulling there. But this little battle here between Betts, Shane, and Dane, your closest on-track battles currently. Yep, David, you are correct. I wouldn't know, unfortunately. So that is Josh Betts into the pit lane. Is that William Burrell in there as well? But I'm pretty sure with 10 minutes left here to go, your top guy's not going to have to pit it again. As you can see here on the other side of the track, a little bit of sun trying to come out. So maybe we'll see these lap times drop a little bit more. Definitely think the track is getting a little faster. As last lap, Jack Peterson kicked in a 2:04.69. That one was a 2:05.59, so Still fast, but not quite as fast as that previous one there. As you can see, the lakes are slowly starting to disappear with the sun coming out. So, rain's still falling, but it is not as heavy as it was. Well, that part of the track is definitely still heavy. Currently, battle here between Bronson and Betts. Bronson is all over the back of Betts here. Yeah, but as they pick up speed, it's going to be harder and harder to see him. Ooh. You can tell Bronson might have the pace to get around him, but unfortunately, everywhere he wants to go, the track is a little too wet. You can see Bronson just pulls right up back to the gearbox of Betts there. There we go. All right, let's see. Check back in with our leader, Ricky Renner here. Has a 13-second lead over second place, Mason Smith. So, depending on bonus points, this could be an interesting finish out here for our points, as we see Ricky only 2 points behind Mason. So, definitely something we'll have to keep our eye on. We have about 8 minutes left to go here in this race. Check and see. We still have this battle here between Betts and Bronson. Ooh, Betts kind of parking it out on the corner. I know that was Mason going very wide there. That's going to put Peterson onto the back of the gearbox, Mason's gearbox. He's down to a 2.5 second gap there, though. Jack really just taking chunks of time out. We can, let's see here. There we go, pull up their lap times here. So yeah, ever since lap 22, Peterson kind of taking big chunks of time out of Mason there. 2 seconds on the lap 22, 0.2 seconds on 23, and 2.2 on 24. Closing down about a second a lap, so if that holds true, as we will keep going through here and check out where is. You have a little bit of a battle here between Shane and Munsell. Munsell coming away with the position. And that is Shane taking that position. Munsell taking the position off of Shane, sorry. But still, these two here, Betts and Stafford. Yeah, you can just see that rain being back to heavy there up towards the start of it. Peterson that lap putting in another scalding fast lap, 2:04.4. Last lap, Mason putting in that 2:10. So definitely will be interesting to see where these two come out and finish, as we have about 6 minutes left to go. But back to the closest battle here on track. Definitely it's going to be Stafford and Betts. Stafford getting around Betts. And we should see that gap get a little bit bigger. bit of admin duty there. Let's see. Yeah, Jack definitely having the pace in that Acura here tonight. That is another 2044. That is. Gotten him to under the 1 second mark there on Mason. But just because you catch Mason does not mean it's going to be a gimme pass to get around him. Appears to be that gap as for the time holding tight. Oh, Peterson into the pits. Yep, definitely be curious to see if Mason's trying to make this on a one stop. Looks like Ricky is definitely going to be going for that, along with Nick Terrell going for the one stops. That is the only problem with these rain tires. They do help out in the rain, but also they do not like being driven nearly as hard as the slicks that these guys normally run on. All right. All right. That is. Look at here. Check in with John Crane there in the McLaren, the daily driven exotics. Paint job there. We have about 2.5 minutes left in this race. Go ahead and get this ready here, since Tyler is out tonight. Sounds like he had a long day. All right, we have 59 minutes under. Let's find good old Ricky Renner and see where is he on track. Looking like, I'm guessing he just started his final lap. Let me see, do I have a pit or a starting spot? Nope, yeah, down here. That is Munsell out in the dirt. Oh. A little close there. Yep. As Ricky will come around here, and this will be the... I believe that was the last lap. Not getting the checkered flag there yet. All right. Yeah, this would have been... Yep, that was still... There's their white flag for Josh Anderson. Come on. Go back. Thank you. Ricky here coming on down the hill. Alright, but yep, you can definitely see here at the end of the night, sun's starting to come out, but yet it is still raining. I believe the old adage is the devil's whipping his wife. Let's see. We'll just have to finish this lap up. Dane trying to hold off Alan Golson, and here we go. Let's see who else we got. Ricky coming around the final set of corners there. And that will be the end of the race with Ricky Renner taking home your win here tonight. Yep. 2:03.5. Ricky going to take home the fastest lap here tonight as well. Yep. Like Braden Carlson getting around Nathan Nickerson. See if he can hold him off here until the end. All right, going back through this list here. Starting to get guys wrapping up. Sending out the message for the guys to get over here that won their classes and or in the top 3 into the waiting room. Let's see. Where is Mr. James Mullinaw here on track? Let's see here. Yep, looks like we got everybody waiting for the results to post up. And we will pull Mr. Mullinaw in here real quick. If I just get to scroll back this way. And there we go. James, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
Hi, John.
So, when it rains, you do well.
All I'm going to say is rain is the great equalizer. That's got to be it. It has nothing to do with me.
Or is it just the fact that you don't know the racing line anyway, so when it's wet, hey, it actually works? No, I'm just messing with you.
No, pretty much. I mean, you know, it's just... No, tonight was... Yeah, wow.
You know, Imola, I could definitely hear all the gravel there on the track tonight. How was it down in the with your hands on the wheel? Just at times it looked like it was just a big lake.
Very, very loose hands. And a lot of seesawing, a lot of traction control.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little on the interesting side if I had to try to come up with a description for it.
Yeah, definitely.
But definitely congratulations on bringing home the win in bronze tonight. You even beat out Dane in the silver division, so kudos for that.
Thank you very much.
Looking here, it says you did 3 pit stops.
I did. So I did. I got rear-ended there at the beginning of the race. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be in here. I'm gonna take fuel real quick, and it got me off cycle.
Okay, but you still had to
So
come in and pit again.
well, yes and no. The iRacing crew chief said to pit, and but I never saw the white flag. And when I came out, I ended up rear-ending Dane because they were all stopping. I thought I still had a lap to go. I didn't realize it was checkered.
Oh, so you pulled the Michael Schumacher. I need to come in and get my tires done before I cross the line.
Yeah, I just came in for a splash and go.
Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 94 machine before we let you go?
Obviously, my wife for all the time she puts up with me in this rig, but also you guys here in the booth. Definitely Jimmy for the last time we had a rain race. He gave me a suggestion on the brake bias, which really helped. And then of course, my VRS coach Pash, him and I spent some time tonight on Imola, but dry, and then it rained, and I'm like, oh my god.
Well, apparently whatever you're doing is working. So again, congratulations. Next week we're off to where is it? Wait, no, that's an Xfinity schedule. Wrong schedule. Watkins Glen.
Glenn, right? Yeah, that's my home road course.
Well,
I only live like an hour away from it.
well, looks like it's supposed to be dry as a bone there. So
Thank
at
God.
least you'll know what to practice.
Definitely.
But again, congratulations. Hopefully we'll catch you next week.
Thank you. Have a great night.
All right, we will. And that was your 8th overall, James Malone. Let's pull in Dane Simpson. Dane, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
I got a copy.
So, were you a little nervous there after that last pit stop and trying to make your way back through the field? Or did you know that you were going to be just fine for taking home the silver win here tonight?
I was pretty worried. I mean, I sputtered and ran out of fuel over the line because I made a mistake in my first stint, not doing a little bit of fuel saving to make it to the 14 laps. So yeah, it was nerve wracking all the way, and Alan was right behind me right at the end. So yeah, it was crazy.
Well, congratulations on making it. Good to see Roxy with an intact front bumper at the end. We saw you had a little bit of an issue a little earlier on.
Yeah, I made a mistake and just caught an edge. It's so easy to dip a tire and just have it on the wet paint or in the grass and stuff like that. And I was worried that I was going to get stuck out there in the kitty litter, but I was able to drive out, and it cost me a couple spots. So overall, I mean, it was the whole time was nerve wracking. So to even bring it home feels like a win.
Well, congratulations on it tonight. And anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 96 pink machine before we let you go?
Everybody who loves pink dinosaurs, and to you for putting on the show.
Well, we appreciate it, and hopefully we'll catch you next week at Watkins Glen.
Hopefully, we'll see you then.
Yeah. All right, that was your silver winner. Let's pull in our gold winner, Braden Carlson. If this click will take, thank you very much. Braden, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
So, getting past Nathan there at the very end, did you have a plan on that, or was that just a little bit of luck?
Well, I was talking with some of the other drivers, and apparently he was really trying to fuel save and couldn't make the fuel save work, and I also couldn't make the fuel save work, and yeah, just barely came out in front of him and just was doing everything to hold him off. So wasn't really expecting to do it, but I'm glad I could pull it off.
Well, coming home with the winner in gold, beating out Nathan, Shane, and Herbert Pineda. Not easy competition to get around, but congratulations on that winning the gold division tonight. Wet Imola. It quite seemed like there was a lot of gravel out there on the track.
Yeah, there was a bit too much, especially like through turn one. I think it was like, or I guess turn two, whatever. Like that section, and then that left hairpin. There was a lot of gravel, so it was a bit tricky to navigate. But yeah, competition was pretty good out there, and um, somehow came out on top of them. I no idea how, but not a whole lot of laps, especially in the rain at this track, and yeah, just glad to come out on top of them.
Well, we're headed to Watkins Glen next week. Is that a track you're a little more familiar with, a little happier to run?
Oh yeah, I love Watkins, especially like the full boot layout and the GT3 cars. It's just a blast. So yeah, really looking forward to running there.
Well, hopefully we'll catch you next week. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 21 machine before we let you go?
Sure, yeah. You in the booth, Core for broadcasting. Always great to go back and watch these. They're a lot of fun. Jack and Alan I was in the call with during the race, calling out some strategies. So shout out to them and yeah.
Well, if this one's a little boring, I do apologize. Tyler apparently did not make it tonight, so
Aw.
at least you know who to fuss at.
Yep.
Well, again, congratulations on taking home the gold win tonight, and we will catch you next week, hopefully.
Alrighty. Well, I'll see you next week.
All right, that was Braden Carlson, your gold winner, and then we're going to bring in Mr. Peterson. Jack, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Saw you may have had something for Mason there for a little bit, but didn't quite pan out for you. You wound up having to, I guess, make that second pit stop.
Yeah, I kind of knew early on that it was going to be a two stop for me. I pit the first time I saw I was like a minute and a half behind the halfway mark. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll see what saving does. So I did about 5 laps worth of saving, and I only went down like 0.2 laps. So I'm like, all right, this is not going to work. And went down, set some fast times, and tried to build as much of a gap as I could. And ended up working out because I got ahead of Nathan. And I was like, all right, I'm already net one place. Let's see what we can do. And was catching up to Mason, but I just, yeah, that pit screwed me out of it. But it's okay. Third place is an awesome spot for how tricky this track is in the rain.
Yeah, it seemed like the track got a little better there towards the end, and it seemed like we saw the sun come out for a little bit here and there. Wasn't quite the lake that it was earlier in the race.
There is still a lake. I don't know if you could tell. There's a double right-hander like right in the middle of the
Aqua
track.
Minerale.
Yeah,
Which
and
pretty much
going up
like
that,
love.
I might as yeah, I mean, I might as well had a boat. It was just like, this is stupid. I was losing easily, 2-3 tenths through there every time I was going through it. But I'm like, that's the only way I can get out there in this car. Everywhere else felt great. It was just that one corner was killing me.
Well, congratulations on the podium here tonight. We're headed to Watkins Glen next week. You looking forward to that one?
Awesome. I love Watkins Glen. I think that's a strong track for me, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we appreciate it. Congrats on the nice camel paint job too. That's a classy one there. Anybody
Yeah,
want to
thank
give
you.
a shout out to on that 212 machine before we let you go celebrate?
Oh man, well, big thanks to Brady and Alan. Those two, they always hop in practices and we make each other better. And you guys for putting this on. Everyone else for showing up. I know this is a tricky track and people get scared of it, but those of them that go out and especially finish, big up for them.
All right. Well, congratulations on third, and we'll hopefully catch you next week.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right. That was our third place, Jack Peterson. Spring, Mr. Mason Smith in here. Oop, almost grabbed the wrong person. Mason, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
So, so you took Rexy out there tonight. Don't see you in the Porsche too often, but being raining on, not surprising. Do you think you might have something for Ricky at any point, or was that just sayonara, and I'm going to do as good as I can.
Well, I did I did try and push, but man, that one stopper kind of like held me back into just saving, and along with the two mistakes I had, I was like, yeah, I just went ahead and like cruised for a second and try not to like do any more damage than I already had with the reduced wing arrow thing. But yeah, Ricky had a great pace otherwise in the rain tonight.
We're headed to Watkins Glen. I know that's one of your quick tracks, so looking forward to that one.
Definitely looking forward to a lot more wide variety of cars I want to test out or just do instead of like, going back to Porsche because it's rain, or oh, it's because it's a specific track for that Porsche, you know.
Uh, we get it. It wasn't as bad as last week about being the Porsche Cup. There were a few Acuras, but I definitely get the feelings.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely get that. And it's understandable why it's very good in the rain. But overall, I felt like it was a good choice to run tonight.
Yeah. So, and because of the couple incidents I saw, I don't think you'll be getting any clean driver bonus points tonight. So, I think that means that Ricky will take the lead for the championship from you here tonight.
Yeah. Well, things hopefully things can possibly change for next week for the better. If not, then womp womp.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see you a little higher up next week. And anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 6 machine before we let you go?
Uh, Shout out to you in the broadcast. Shout out to the family that always watches, and to my adorable T-Rex, Rexy.
Gold teeth and all. Good job on keeping those intact tonight.
Thank you.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, and we will hopefully catch you next week.
See you next week.
All right. That was second place, Mason Smith. Gonna pull our race winner in here, Ricky Renner. Mr. Renner, this is Fox in the booth. You got a copy.
How's it going?
Well, kind of led that one start to finish. Were you just kind of taking it easy there? We saw you kicked in that 203 there at the end. Kind of wanted to put a little stamp of I had more pace in it.
Yeah, we're just. It might be the first career Grand Slam there, so we were pretty happy with that. And at the end, I was on the set trying to help Nate out a little bit, and he was a lap shy on fuel. So after Mason made a couple mistakes, I was trying to slow the pace down and get us to only do, to get one lap less. And I crossed the finish line with like 2 minutes and 8 seconds or something, and it wasn't white flag. So I was like, sorry, bud, you're on your own. Now that I've had to drive around for you, let's go see if we can get the fastest lap time too.
Well, congratulations on the win here tonight. Definitely. Had somebody saying you should have tried to do a spin to win, but good job on not spinning the Porsche.
Yeah, I maybe would have, but if you check the record, I might be full of it here, but I believe that was also a 0X race. So
Ooh.
it was just overall a great night.
Yeah, that'll definitely give you the championship lead then, going into Watkins Glen. You're looking forward to running a little bit more commonly run track?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Just looking forward to go, back and forth with Mason again, and we'll just swap roles probably next week. But last time we raced it, Watkins, there were, Nick Terrell, he was really, really good there. Jack's been driving really good. Nate's been up there with us, getting closer and staying closer a little bit longer. So things are starting to tighten up, and on a track like that, you never know. We might have a 5-way battle up there, so that could be really fun.
Hopefully it will be. Congratulations on the win tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 53 machine before we let you go celebrate?
Just the whole Next Gen Motorsports crew. The rest of the guys out there, Nate and Betts, they were having good nights tonight. A little unfortunate on the strategy on fuel, but, overall, we had a good night. And just all of you guys for putting on an awesome series every week. And the broadcast here is fantastic, and I have to go watch that back. And just looking forward to next week.
All right. Well, congratulations, and hopefully we'll put on a good show for next week.
Yeah, we'll be ready.
All right. That was Ricky Renner, our winner here tonight. Let me pull up the results here real quick. Ricky Renner taking home the win here tonight. Mason Smith in second. Jack Peterson in third. Nick Terrell in fourth. Braden Carlson in fifth. Sixth will be Nathan Nickerson. Seventh, Shane Theron. Eighth, James Molyneux. Ninth, Dane Simpson. 10th will be Alan Gullison. And let's see. Here we go. Yep. Bronson Stafford will be in 11th. Justin Munsell in 12th. Josh Betts in 13th. Josh Anderson in 14th. And don't be silly. 15th will be Robert Kinney. 16th, Alec Jaspers. 17th will be John Crane. 18th, William Burrell. 19th will be Herbert Pineda. Chaz Justice in 20th. Joe Sullivan in 21st. And that will round out your race here tonight. So from everybody at Core, we thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you next week.
The engines roar, the grid's alive. Under the lights, we start to drive. McLaren's fleet cutting through the air. Porsche chasing close with a power so rare. Audi's growl, a beast unleashed. Lamborghini's roar, the grip of the beast. Ford's Mustang, muscle and might. Ferrari's prancing horse, ready to fight. BMW flies with precision and grace. Every corner, every chase. Core League legends racing for fame. GT3 fever, feel the flame. Race through the night, the engines sing. Core GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche, Audi, pride. Lamborghini screaming by your side. Ferrari, Ford, BMW. Chasing victory, breaking through. Core GT3, feel the speed. Racing fever is all we need. Every apex tight, every lap on fire. The battle rages hearts, full of desire. Through Eau Rouge and on the straight, GT3 glory can't be late. McLaren shadow, Porsche scream. Audi fights back in a high-speed dream. Lamborghini powers down the line. Ford's thunder echoes divine. Ferrari surges with the lion's roar. BMW dances, wanting more. Core League thrill, never the same. GT3 fever, tried insane. Race through the night, the engines sing. Core GT3, feel the lightning. McLaren, Porsche, Audi's pride. Lamborghini screaming by your side. Ferrari, Ford, BMW. Chasing victory, breaking through. Core GT3, feel the speed. Racing fever is all we need. Feel the rush to let go. Core GT3, the ultimate show. Final to the max where legends meet. Can't be beat, 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 beat. McLaren flies, Porsche in the rear.